Carmel will send a lot of information your way. And there's certain methods that we use, there's certain modes that in order to stay on top of things, you'll want to stay connected to. You'll want to be aware of them, and you'll want to stay connected to. And of course, your students should be aware and connected to these methods as well. First on the list is the parent portal, the Veracross portal. That's so important that after I'm done with you tonight, the next speaker is going to talk solely about Veracross, so I'll leave that to him. But you might be used to working with the website. Our website is very public, it's general, it's generic. You might be used to a new parent portal. Well, now you've graduated to the Veracross parent portal. That is a wealth of information for you, and the next speaker will show you what's there. For timely information, something that's coming up, a deadline, a calendar change, here's how you buy the homecoming dance tickets. The newsletter, the weekly newsletter is something you should pay attention to. It comes out on every Wednesday. You've probably seen these newsletters. Some of the articles are repeated because they're extra important, but others right at the top are new. You'll want to make sure that you're getting those newsletters and reading them carefully. There's always something new in those newsletters. Email. Plain old email. The newsletter will come to you via email. And emails in general are what teachers use most often to communicate with students and parents. So if you have a concern about your student in a class, if you want to connect with a counselor, email is the best way to connect. In the next week or so, you will be receiving procedure sheets from every teacher your student has. So 7 procedure sheets will come your way. Take the time to read that with your son or daughter. That procedure sheet is kind of like the tips to success for every course. And those sheets, those procedure sheets, will have the best way to communicate with the teacher. So there's going to be a section about communicating in each procedure sheet, so meant to note there. And hopefully you'll save the date. There is a back to school night coming up later this month on Thursday the 26th. That's when you follow your student schedule and meet all the teachers. On that evening, every teacher will clarify, here's where I post the homework, here's how your child knows what's coming up, and here's how best to reach me. And I bet it's going to be that email address. Okay? And finally, to stay connected, hopefully you will subscribe to our school calendars. The next speaker will talk about the Veracross calendar. It's very detailed. You'll know which day we're running on our rotation schedule. Lots of detail on the Veracross school calendar. There's also something called My Calendar, where if you subscribe to that calendar, My Calendar, you will know, you'll be able to see on your phone or on your PC at home where your child is in class every day, if you want to go that far, if you subscribe to that calendar. So there's a very personalized My Calendar, and then there's the school calendar. I recommend taking the steps now to subscribe to those calendars. They're the most up-to-date, detailed information. When do you pick up your student every day? The school calendar will let you know that. Okay? Before I close, a note from our cafeteria staff. We have a great cafeteria manager who works for Quest. His name is Scott Davis, and he knows you're wondering tonight, most likely, about how to have your student pay for lunch. Your student can always bring lunch from home, but most of our students by far purchase from the cafeteria. Rumor has it, our cafeteria food is really good. For the first week or so, cash is best. Cash is best for the first week or so if you choose to pay for your child to pay for the food that he or she purchases. But if you go to that website down at the bottom, myschoolbucks.com, you can create an account. All you need is your son or daughter's Carmel ID number. It's a 5-digit number. It's at the top of your student schedule. With that ID number and that website, you'll be able to create an account. I can tell you it's great. You load in a credit card, it automatically replenishes when it gets low. I could look in and see that my son is eating ice cream bars and French fries all day. It's a very useful tool. So you can go ahead and set that up, but maybe week 2, your student can start actually using that. It's attached to his or her ID card. So they just swipe and they go. It's super quick. So hopefully that's some good information for you, particularly about how to stay connected to the school. Again, we have so much information to share about you specifically and your son or daughter and general happenings about the school. Please take steps now to get organized, create those email folders, those notifications, you know what I'm talking about, just so you have those pathways set up when all the information continues to come to you.
Another part of it is navigation are here. There's several other resources on here, like one being athletics. You'll see it's one place for sports. There's any sports fees, we pay those. Then we also academics, the field information, all the services are up there as well. So you can pick on any of those, and down, give you other options to get a lot more information out of that as well. Also, as mentioned, you were originally in the new parent portal, and then you got switched over now to the parent portal. So you do have access still to some of the other portals, so such a case, let's say you are alumni. You do have access to your alumni as well as your parent portal. The way you would switch between those two is in the upper right-hand corner, there you see a little column button. You click on that, it'll open this window, and you'll select which portal you want to go into. So by default, all your portals will open up to your parent portal. But let's say you want to switch to your alumni portal, you simply click on that button, click on alumni, and it'll take you to your alumni portal, and then you can navigate into there. And then if you want to know which portal you're actually in, it'll take you at the top as well. So in this case, it's saying we're in the parent portal. And nice thing too is if you navigate away and you want to get back to the home page, just click on that parent portal, and it takes you back to the home page over here. So it's a nice way to just get back quickly and not having to hit the back button or anything. And then lastly, you also have your log out. Make sure you have a log out of the portal when you're done. So, like I said, it's a wealth of information on there. Feel free to navigate, to click around, try to look for things. As the school year progresses, you'll see more buttons pop up, more categories pop up, because we'll be adding more and more things as activities get started and other things to communicate that information. At any time, though, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. That goes directly to my department, and we will get back to you. And it could be anything from having problems to trying to get, subscribe to the calendar, to you can't find something, to something looks wrong. Feel free to reach out. As mentioned earlier, we are here to help you, help your students. So feel free to reach out with anything that you need on those calendars, or if you're having problems navigating there or finding information, like I said, just feel free to reach out. We are here to help you. We'll respond to you. We'll get whatever information you need. It's not reach out to me and sub for another department. I'll get a hold of another department for you. We'll get it resolved for you, whatever the case may be. So, feel free to email us with anything. You'll find this to be a very useful school. If you should have at this point gotten an email, and your email you supplied to the school with your login credentials. If you have not gotten that, please email this, and I will get you login credentials. You should have gotten an email from Vera Cross that had your login credentials, a link with your login credentials to the site. It's like I said, if you did not, please email me. We'll get that set up for you. We do need, if you each want a login, two-step login, we will need separate email addresses, so you cannot share one email if you want two logins. So this is something to keep in mind. And that's it. So thank you very much. Next up, we have Jamie White.
Good evening, parents. I'm Jamie White. I'm the assistant principal for Student Services. Student Services is made up of several different areas here at Carmel, all of which are intended to help your students be successful while they're here in high school at Carmel. I'm going to quickly highlight each area so you have so you're familiar with all the different supports that are available. First, our school counseling department is the one that your student will get an advisor. That's the language that Vera Cross uses. It's actually a school counselor, of which we have 5. And that person is going to be your go-to person with any questions that you have or that your student has. They're available throughout the day, so before school, during lunch, after school, the school counselor is available. They can email their school counselor. They can stop by if they have any questions or concerns. The name of your student school counselor is listed in the portal. Mr. Blazek also showed a printout of the schedule, if you recall the color-coded one, and the advisor, again, that's the same as the school counselor, was listed at the top left corner. We do have 5 school counselors. They are Mr. Robert Kovic, Christine Hartman, Susan Miley, Tyler Resetich, and Yvonne Zepp. The other areas of school the other areas of student services, all of which are in the 400 hallway, so we're all essentially located in the center of the school. We have our College and Career Resource Center, or what's being referred to as the CCRC, and that is our Nate Barber, that's our college counselor, so he's available. If you've done a tour, you've probably seen that space with all the pennants and whatnot, so that's our CCRC. We also have what's called the Drop-In Center, which is located in the counseling area, and our school psychologist, Shannon Gomez, oversees that, and our Drop-In Center is a quiet space for students to go to if they're really stressed out about an upcoming test or something happened and they're upset and perhaps they can't be in class at that moment. They can go to the drop-in and have some time to kind of calm and recoup and hopefully get back to class. We also have what's called our Sermon Center, which is where we support our students with disabilities here at Carmel, and then we also have something new called our Reach Academic Learning Center, and this is going to be a comprehensive place where any student can go for academic support. Both of those centers are overseen by our 3 resource teachers we have here at Carmel. And then finally, I wanted to also make you aware of our Multicultural Center, which Andy Fitzpatrick oversees our Multicultural Center, which is also in the 400 hallway. All of these folks that are listed up here are certainly happy to help you, your student, whatever you might need. So please feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions or concerns. And I want to turn it over to Mrs. Laura Budger. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming today and learning about all these things your student is really just on the verge of embarking on. And as the Director of Student Activities, I just want to give you a heads up that next week at school is going to be Activities Week. And what this means is during the lunches, upperclassmen involved in various clubs and academic teams will be spread throughout the student lounge. And they will be attempting to recruit your son or daughter to join their group. And so what we will do is encourage all the students to walk through, peruse the tables. What I would encourage you to do on the home front is ask them about it at some point in time. We're hoping they're going to make a connection, either content-wise, something that really hooks them in, or it may be that they just are interested in the people who are at that table. And we find that student involvement is one of the ways kids really get to know each other. Working together on an academic team or working together in some type of a fun club, they really build those strong bonds. And so we want them to be looking to make those connections next week. And then toward the end of the week, they will have an electronic sign-up to submit their interest. Many of our clubs are open to all and very fluid. So if they can make a meeting that runs perhaps every other week or monthly, they're welcome to. If they happen to be absent and they're involved maybe in an athletic sport, that's fine. So know that we've got a lot of flexibility for them to be involved. On our website, under Student Life, there is a long list of different clubs, and the moderators are linked there as well. So we're going to encourage the students to use that as a reference as they go through the week, so they can kind of do a little more further exploring, and if they have any questions, to send an email and reach out directly. Just a little bit of update for you, so we're all on the same page. With regard to student portraits, our yearbook is built throughout the year and includes graduation. So it's really not finalized until June, and then is printed and distributed the following year. I say that just to let all of you know we've got a lot of time to get your child's picture right. So be aware of that. We've had ID cards are currently in process from any photos that were taken over the past couple weeks in the summer, and a lot of students attended those. If your student did not, they will get information from me to come and take their picture for a temporary ID, and we'll get that made. So just as Mrs. Burkhalter was saying, send cash for a little while for the lunchroom, part of this because they don't have their ID yet. So within the first 2 weeks, we're hoping we'll be able to get those to everybody. But also watch your email, because you will get an email directly from our photo company, and it will ask you to select a picture. And what we really like about this company is you get a few options. It's not just one shot and you pick a luck of the draw. Please choose with your student. And if you're not thrilled, there's a retake kit. So keep that in mind. Our next portrait opportunity is coming up Thursday, September 23rd. So be watching the newsletter for more details on that. And your student will hear plenty of announcements and also get email information about that and those details. Also in the parent portal are a wealth of information. Under that resource tab, there is a link for VIP, visual image photography. And you can go there to search photos. You can search for your student using that ID number, which is on the student schedule. But throughout the year, there will be photos listed there from different activities and from athletics and, from the homecoming dance, those kind of things. So feel free to check that out periodically throughout the year for some of those candidates as well. We are excited to have your student here, hoping that we get to offer lots of activities this year and time for them to enjoy each other's company. So thank you for your encouragement of that. And I will turn it over now. Many of our kids are involved in athletics, so we'll turn it on over to our athletic director, Nate Brill.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm the only one here from the athletic department, so the other two, I'm going to just take a quick jab at one of them since he's not here tonight. I'm in my second year here at Carmel. I started as athletic director in July, so very short term. Mr. Nolan, there beside me, has been at least since his 45th year. So I'm not sure if this makes him old or you old, but I do believe that some of you here tonight probably had Mr. Nolan. If you're a Carmel grad, you may have had him as a teacher at some point here. And Mrs. Doyle, Sarah's our assistant athletic director. She's also a Carmel graduate and is in her third year as a member of the athletic department. Our primary goal is to serve your son and daughter in areas outside of the classroom. We have a very strong relationship with the academic wing of the building, with our teachers, with our faculty members. And at the end of the day, we take the term student athlete very seriously. So we'll talk a little bit about athletic eligibility in a moment, but I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you all as new parents to Carmel. And I realize some of you have multiple students here tonight, but right now our freshman class is leading the way in terms of our new athlete sign-up. We are less than a week since we've opened our athletic sign-up for the entire school year. As of this afternoon, we had just under 700 total sign-ups. And that's not individual students, that's individual team sign-ups. So some students have signed up for multiple sports, which I'll hit on here in a moment as well. But our freshman class has signed up for 261 different athletic opportunities. So Ms. Budress, who was just up here, mentioned that student activities are coming down the way. Well, I know as parents, you had to sign your son or daughter up through that parent portal, so you figured out how to do that for the most part. And I'm not sure what our final freshman class number is sitting at right now, Mr. Stiff, but I believe that probably puts us at almost one athlete or one sport per student, if I'm guessing correctly there. So we're very excited to have all of your sons and daughters joining our athletic programs here. And I'd like to go through some of those with you. Our athletic accomplishments here, I'm not going to dwell on this. You can find this up on our website here, but in over 60 years of, or nearly 60 years, I should say, of Carmel athletics, we do have a storied past. Our present is very strong, and we do have a very bright future ahead of us with the student athlete population that we have incoming, that we are bringing back this next year. So we'll certainly be adding to these numbers over the next 4 years that your son or daughter is here joining us. And our goal is to have them graduate from Carmel with an outstanding student athlete experience. That does involve winning championships. We are all very competitive in the athletic environment, but it's more than championships. It's more than winning games. It's about a winning culture. It's about getting to know your teammates and building community. Community is very important in all areas of Carmel High School, but maybe no more important than in athletics, where team is above the individual in nearly everything we do. Our boys and girls programs, we offer nearly every program here at Carmel Catholic, with maybe the exception of bowling and crew and esports, which are a few programs that we are possibly considering adding here over the next few years. So if you've got some bowlers, make sure they dust off that bowling ball, because we may be sending out some information on that during their time here at Carmel. But we do encourage multi-sport athletes. I'm so impressed by the number of students that have registered for multiple sports over the last few days. We, as coaches, I coached football for 18 years, and the last season here at Carmel, there's nothing that we value more than students who want to put in time and effort year-round in addition to work in the classroom. So we do encourage, I know Mr. Luther said maybe 2 activities. For me personally, as long as you're only doing 1 sport per season, I think that just counts as 1. So I hope all of you will be, all of your sons and daughters will be multi-sport athletes for us and get involved in 3 seasons worth of activities. Team membership. Most of you have already pre-registered. If your son or daughter is not a fall sports athlete, if they are more of the winter or the spring athlete variety, then I would encourage you to go ahead and pre-register them for our winter and spring sports. That gives our coaches a chance to kind of see what's incoming in terms of our new students. And it's going to give them an opportunity to reach out to you as parents, reach out to your sons and daughters ahead of time, so that the first time they're getting to meet your son or daughter may not be when baseball tryouts begin or when basketball tryouts begin, but they'll get a chance to put a name and a face together maybe in their own classes right now. In addition to that, we are starting already off-season training. And we'll talk about our weight room in a moment, but we want your children, your freshmen, to be involved with their teammates, even though they may not be officially on the team yet. So we'll talk about trial sports and non-trial sports here in a second, but if your son or daughter has interest in basketball, pre-register for that so that they can get in the weight room with those teammates now, build those relationships in addition to improving themselves physically. And that's going to go a long way to building those relationships with the coaching staff as well. So we encourage you to do that. There's no cost to pre-register. Once final rosters are set, we do have an athletic fee that will be communicated to you all. But there's no cost to pre-register. So if your son or daughter has any interest in a program now, we highly encourage you to sign up. They can always change their mind later. And of course, you can always visit that form later on throughout the school year if your child decides they want to add a sport later in the winter or in the spring. Competitive trials may be required. It's very rare that we have trials here, but our sports are very competitive. And in rare circumstances, we do have to limit the roster size, either due to facilities or coaching staff size. Or some sports are obligated to only carry a certain limit by the IHSA, which governs our athletic programs here at Carmel. So if you would like more information about that, our fall sports trials have begun. Today was rained out, so there's still a chance to sign up if you'd like to try and sneak that in there. But we'll be posting information about winter and spring trials as we progress through the year on our athletic website. The last point on here is very important. All students must have a physical on file with the nurse's office. Now, I know that most of you in here, the vast majority, had to submit a physical as part of the new student enrollment process. However, I want to take this opportunity to ask parents who also have returning Carmel students here, if your sons or daughters are an athlete and they have not gotten a new physical yet for this school year, do it now. Doctors' offices are booked up. Walgreens, CVS, they're getting kind of busy again. And we want to make sure that it's not the first day of basketball trials and your son or daughter doesn't have their physical yet. So please take advantage of this time to do that. Athletic eligibility, this will be making a return this year. The last couple years, or really year and a half, we've stayed clear of athletic eligibility because of everything that's kind of been flux. We'll be making a return to that, and more details will be forthcoming. We'll send that out in an all-school email to all of our families so that you can be made aware of what those requirements are. But kind of to summarize what athletic eligibility is once you hit the high school level, it's not just about what you do on the field, it's about taking care of business in the classroom. And we will have minimum requirements that all athletes must maintain in terms of the number of classes they are passing in order to participate on the field or on the court. And that's very important to us. So we will run a report each week. We'll communicate students who are in danger, or maybe who are receiving a warning, or maybe who are indeed ineligible. We'll communicate that with our parents. And then we're going to give those students an opportunity to work with our team here to make sure they're improving those grades. We don't want to just take a student athlete away from the field and then kind of put them on the bench and forget about them. As Principal Luther mentioned, we have a growth mindset here. And we want to use athletics as an opportunity to help our students. So in combination with Ms. Jamie White's REACH program, we will be requiring our student athletes who reach a certain threshold in the classroom to attend some different weekly study sessions, some weekly support sessions, so that they're getting the extra assistance they need. Our fitness center. Most of you, if you came on a tour with Mr. Stitt or Mr. Bethel in the admissions office, or maybe even myself, you got a chance to see our beautiful fitness center that we opened up last year. We are happy to announce that our returning students and our new students will now be able to use that fitness center outside of athletic activities. So our head coaches will set up their team activities. And we encourage athletes who are on teams to live with their teammates. It's part of our culture here, and it's part of our growing those relationships. However, if for some reason a coach doesn't have a program set up in that way with our training staff, or if your son and daughter is not an athlete per se, they're not on a team, but they'd like to take advantage of that space, we are going to offer, beginning next week, we will offer before school, Monday through Friday from 6:45 to 7:30 a.m. We will have an open lift session, or an open fitness center session might be a better term. Right now there's no sign up for that, so I'll send an informational email to your students about that, and they will be able to get into the school at 6:30 when our normal doors open, door B, and they'll be able to use the locker rooms to change, to shower afterwards, to take advantage of that fitness center. So if you've got some individuals in your family that love to use the cardio equipment or love to use the weight equipment, we encourage them to visit with us. They will get a chance to work with our training staff, which is provided by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. And so when your students are in there, they are going to be working maybe with the team that's in there or the other students that are in there, and they're going to be trained. They're going to be taught how to use the equipment properly. They're not going to be left unsupervised. Everything in there is going to be done safely. We don't want anybody up there doing things that they've never done before or are capable of doing. So it's going to be a very controlled, very professional environment, and we would love to see your sons and daughters up there beginning next week. Okay, this is my last bit of information for you all, some communications. I encourage you all to visit our athletic website. You just head to carmelhs.org. There's an athletic drop-down. We are slowly but surely sort of renovating that website to provide you with a little bit more useful layout and then also some more useful information. So right now there's a bulletin board with some key information on there. There's team information pages, so every sport has their own page with our coaches listed and their contact info. You'll find a link to schedules and scores. And then coming soon, we are also going to be restarting our booster club. So I want to take this opportunity to mention that all to you all so that you keep an eye out for that. And then also game tickets. We are going to have an opportunity to purchase game tickets online. That's something new for us. So we encourage you to keep an eye out for that. We'll send you more information, but that's going to be a way to sort of ease some of the purchasing for you all. And then as far as Booster Club, it's going to allow you to find a way to work with your sons and daughters and maybe work with their teams a little bit in a different capacity in a way that really helps us to grow community here at Carmel. Lastly, if you have questions, I always encourage you to reach out to the head coach first. Even if it's a question about tryout information, Your head coach is the expert, and I would encourage you to email them. They're usually the one that's going to get back to you the quickest. However, the athletic office, as with every other office here at Carmel, we're very welcoming to your questions. So my information is right there. That is my email. Unlike Mr. Brian Blazek, I'm not going to hide behind that Bear Cross email. I'm just kidding. But you can email us here in athletics or give us a phone call if you have any general questions. And then if you have concerns about anything, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always there for you. And if it's something that you'd like to talk with individually in person, we're certainly welcome to set up an appointment when you come in. So, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to return the mic to Mr. Luther here, who I believe will close us out.
We have just a few more speakers for you here yet, so I won't quite close us out here just yet. First, we'd like you to meet the deans. They're not here tonight, but they spoke to your children today during orientation. We have two student deans. So, Ms. Lasconis, your last name is A through K. She is your child's dean, and Mr. Kevin Nyland, who has L to Z. And I noticed all these beautiful smiling pics, and I'm reminded, Mrs. Budrus, you said we all got to approve our picture. I noticed mine from the first slide was not nearly as flattering as any of these other ones, so I'd like to edit my picture whenever I get a chance. But these are your deans that will help serve you and your students. So the deans are largely responsible for discipline, attendance, dress code, and some matters of student life. They have the connotation of being the doom and gloom, but that's not really how we view the deans. You're not only going to talk to them when your child may have a discipline incident or may have done something to get in trouble. They're there to support our students through all sorts of things, and they're there to help you through this high school journey as well. So one of the key pieces of information is to make sure that you and your student reads the Student Handbook. It is updated from April, and we'll have just a few additional updates here in the next few weeks. You'll get an email with any major changes to the Student Handbook during that time. But you can always view it in the Parent Portal under the Resources tab, as you see there. And whenever there might be a behavior incident, that's another way of saying if your child did something to, and again, quote unquote, get in trouble, it could be a small thing. We'd like to inform you of what that infraction was. So you will get an email notification in your Veracross portal, and then you'll also get follow-up from one of the deans. Our philosophy here is very simple. If our deans talk to a student about something, they're also going to talk to a parent or guardian about that issue as well, to make you aware, and again, to partner in just correcting that behavior. All students have infractions. It's very rare that someone gets through their whole high school career without any tardy, without any dress code infraction or something of that sort. So it's okay. Our deans are here to help work through those issues. Also with dress code, we covered those expectations with students today. There is a grace period for our students to acclimate to the dress code here. It's something that we really value. Even our students, when we didn't have full dress code expectations last year, they were really pining for it. So they really like the polos, and one of the things that our students, staff, everybody really adores are the name tags, which I don't have mine on right now. But all of our students will have a name tag, and it's just a way of really highlighting and celebrating our community. Our students aren't numbers, they all have that 5-number ID. Yeah, 5-number ID. But they're not numbers, they're people that we want to know. We want to know their names. When we see them, we want to be able to address them by name. So those name tags are really important. But otherwise, you can get information about uniforms in the Parent Portal under the Resources tab. You can also order uniforms Our spirit shop does have some items in sale, or on sale, especially outerwear items. Our building is climate controlled, but as it gets cooler, we want our students to be comfortable. So that base layer is our short sleeve polo, and then there's all sorts of options that they can put on top of that polo if they happen to be chilly. We want our students to be able to control their climate based on the classroom that they're in. So they'll get all kinds of hoodies and shirts through clubs, sports, or activities that they're involved in, but our spirit shop also has many items for them as well. So if you have any questions relating to our deans, again, this is who you'll want to contact depending on where you fall in the alphabet. That being said, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Brian Stiff, an alum of Carmel. He does all sorts of things here, and again, has been here a long time, so please join me in welcoming Brian.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luther. Good evening, everyone. Oh, man, come on. I had all the new students in here like a week ago, and it was a Monday morning for them, for a lot of them. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone. There we go, you got it. My name is Mr. Brian Stiff. I'm the Chief Enrollment and Advancement Officer here at Carmel Catholic. As Mr. Luther said, I've been here for some time. I'm entering my 14th year. I've got a junior, and I've got 4 others to follow. And tonight's a great night. You've heard a little reflection from everybody about why this is an amazing day, why it's a great day for you, your student, your family. I've been here and I've seen a lot. I've been here and also when I started, I was the activities director and admissions director. Then I became just the admissions director. Then I became the admissions director and marketing director. Now I have 3 roles here with advancement, marketing, and enrollment. And no year is like any other. And this one takes the cake. For a year, if you ask me over the phone, if we talk over the phone, you do the normal small talk, you sit there and you say, how's the day going? Every time I respond for a straight 365, feels like a Monday. Feels like a Monday. Feels like Groundhog Day. I'm telling you, I was walking through the halls today, and this is the first day out of 365 days where I felt something different. The kids were here. As mentioned, you could see the smiles in their eyes. It gives me hope. This has been really difficult. This will blow your mind. The senior class is the only class at Carmel that has spent an entire school year on campus. The senior class is the only group. And our students will rise to the occasion. They'll be successful. They're going to support one another during difficult times. They're going to celebrate each other when they need to celebrate. It's a beautiful place to be. In 14 years, I've been talking to the kids, and not so much the adults as much. I talk to you as your prospective parents, but not once your parents. I still help and aid along the way over the 4-year progression. But I talk to the students. In fact, at the new student experience, as the students were leaving, we had them sign a banner. And on that banner, it said, "My gift to Carmel Catholic is ... And we asked them to put something down and sign it. And that banner is going to pop up over the next 4 years, eventually maybe show up at one of their alumni events. And I tell them, Carmel is the great and magnificent place it is because of the generations of students that have been here before them, that continue to add. They use their gifts and talents. They contribute, and as a result, know more. Our community is stronger than when we're together. Amazing things happen. And they're the result of our gifts. On the slide right here, I have 3 words, time, talent, treasure. And then to the right, talks about supporters. I'm going to spend 90% of my time talking about time, the gift of time. The one thing that we can all probably contribute relatively easily or find a way to make that work. This is a snapshot of the website. On the top right, it says support us. Ways to give highlights every single way that you can give to Carmel Catholic to support. Double your donation. There are ways to make an even larger impact from a monetary standpoint than you could ever imagine. If you want to support us monetarily to help fuel our mission, that's a place you want to check. I talked to the students about the generations before them. Well, there are generations of parents who have given time, talent, and treasure. We have recognition of our donors up there as well. If you're looking to attend an event. We just had one, Under the Stars, last Friday night. Raise hands, anybody go to that? I was there, it was a good time. Parent social, just a fun time, go out and meet other people. Events, fundraisers, and campaigns are there. And then we're going to spend the vast majority of my time tonight. And for those of you who know me, you don't know that I usually don't come with a script. And obviously I'm already off script. So, enough, so much for that plan. But volunteer opportunities. Our community is stronger when we're together. Michelle Tashinsky, some of you may have met at that program. She's our Director of Volunteer Engagement. She unfortunately was not able to attend tonight, so I'm going to read some statements that she wants me to include to help encourage you to step up, to step in, to continue to make this place better tomorrow than it is today. So she's not with us, but she's looking forward to meeting you all, if she hasn't met you already, and would like to let you know how you get involved here at Carmel Catholic. Carmel is going to be a great experience for your student. It's also going to be a great experience for you and your family. It's not just limited to the student experience. We're a community and we work hard together to be the best that we can be for our students, and it takes many hands. There are many ways to get involved here at Carmel. The gift of your time is one of our most valued treasures. We have volunteer opportunities that fit any schedule or availability. We have administrative work, phone work, student activities such as field trips and proctors, to fundraising events like our golf outing, which is on the 23rd of August, either if you can, and the gala as well. There's truly something for everyone. Two areas that I want to stress tonight, Mr. Brill already mentioned, Athletic Boosters Kickoff. Our Athletic Boosters program is back, better than ever, and will kick off this fall. What an awesome group to work with that will involve signing up members, helping with tailgating, game day tasks, hospitality suites, athletic engagement activities, so on and so forth. The Boosters Club supports all 24 sports for our young men and women. It is a great way to meet other parents who have an interest in athletics. Number two, the other terrific volunteer opportunity is our annual Street Scenes event. So many of you probably already know so much about Street Scenes. It runs on volunteers. It's the school's largest fundraising event. We're 40 plus years into this great and amazing fundraiser, and we're excited to be back on campus this coming February for an in-person event, and can only continue our Street Scenes legacy with volunteers like you. Question, don't know anyone at Carmel? Volunteering is a great way to get to know, of course, our parents, and provide the support we need to provide the best experience for our students. Lifelong friendships have been created from a shared volunteer activity, so don't be shy. Please check our volunteer tab on the Carmel website and fill out the volunteer application and get things moving. You can always reach out to Michelle anytime. She's happy to talk to you about volunteerism, what the needs are of the school, and where we can plug you in. Visit the parent portal for more information or to sign up as well. Carmel's a great place to be, and what better way to meet some new people than by volunteering? Belong, believe, become, be part of a great community. Three last things I'll mention. When you exit tonight, I mentioned Street Scenes, volunteerism. The ad drive is right around the corner. Your students will be sent information, you'll be sent information. We need your support, we need your student support in helping solicit ads and driving the revenue of that fundraiser. In the back, if you want to, I'm going to encourage you to support patrons of Carmel Catholic. We have an ad book that's about this thick. We're going to be distributing it all year round at all these different events. Grab one. And when you support that patron of Carmel Catholic, let them know that you got it on the ad book. Queen of Hearts, last but not least. Queen of Hearts is up to $75,000. We do a live drawing on Facebook Live every Thursday. Buy your tickets, it's only $5. And it's a great way. We've already had 2 miniature payouts, but more to come. So with that said, thank you very much. Happy to have you all here. Happy to have your students here. I'm going to pass the microphone. You at the bottom of the ninth. Mr. Hoover's going to close out.
Thank you, Brian. So the design of this evening was to get you to meet Carmel's people, right? The folks that you can reach out to for help, folks that you can ask questions, and the folks that are going to really be guiding kind of a lot of the at-large experiences for you and for your children. The next big night is Thursday, August 26th. That's when you'll get to meet your teachers. It will start in here with a general presentation, but then you're going to be able to run through your child's schedule. And it's a really exciting night because you're going to hear from all of your son or daughter's teachers. So again, there's a design behind this, to meet the administration and the support staff and everyone that's helping to get the year started for you, for your son, for your daughter, and then that next big night, Thursday, August 26th. So use all that information, get your parent portal set up, subscribe to your calendars, and get all those important dates in there. But this is a big one, and that's one we get really excited about as well, because our teachers really like meeting you just as much as they like to meet your students as well, or their students. So keep that date on your calendar. Until then, please do not hesitate to reach out. We're going to be hanging around after I finish here in about 30 seconds. You can come down and ask us any questions, or we'll be out in the foyer out there. But again, please do not be shy in reaching out, asking any questions. We're here to assist, and we're really excited to kickstart this year. Thank you.